Hello and welcome to Townforge, which is a game I've discovered recently. It's currently in alpha and I absolutely love. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go through a little tutorial on how to create a reasonably self-sustaining community with 500 in-game coin. Now, it's important to note that the game is not designed to be completely self-sufficient and independent. You really need to either have some mining to bring in some of the coin itself and sustain your expansion that way, or you need to be a little bit intelligent about how it is that you go and interact with the other players and with what they're building. So just a couple of notes about this recording is one that I'm using Simple Screen Recorder, and to keep the file size down, I've set the capture frame rate to only 12 frames per second. So this is so that Simple Screen Recorder doesn't get overloaded and drop the audio. Okay, all right. So I'm using. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to go through some of the keystrokes that I'm doing at the time that I'm doing them. All right. So the idea is that what we're going to do is to, with our 500 in-game coin, is to buy some land and set up some buildings in such a way that we can get 500 below the 500 thing, but also so that once it's done, when the game goes tick, you've got a little bit of income in which to bring in some money to be self-sustaining that way. But again, the critical point to notice is that you can't do this when it's isolated from everybody. So we're going to find some places which are good to settle down. All right. So F for fly and shift. Hold down the shift key on page. Right mouse button on the mouse. Whoop, F for fly again. Oh, that's better. Page up. There we go. All right. So there's birds in the sky. All right. So where are we orientated? Where was the area that I found? Ah, yes, it's over here. Whoops, pressed F again. If you hold down Shift when you're doing W and AS and D, it goes really fast. Yeah, that's very helpful. All right, so we're just gonna navigate to this area here. This is the one that I found, which was really nice. So let's just inspect this. What we're looking for is a place that has good agricultural, good stone, good wood quantities, but because we're starting out, we want the types of both the stone and the wood to be low, because that gives you so it goes in wood, it goes pine, oak, teak, which if you have 0, let me just do it and show you terrain, wood type here. Right, so in this area here, this will be predominantly pine, but in this area over here, we predominantly teak. Okay, likewise for stone type, this here will be mostly sandstone, and here this will be mostly marble. All right, so you typically get of the higher economic value stuff, you get less of it when you produce it. Whereas actually we want lots of pine and we want lots of sandstone because those are going to be predominantly in the early buildings that we're going to be doing. Okay, so let's have a look around here. All right, so we've got stone type of sandstone in this area, and we have a stone quantity. Let's check it of really bright. Okay, so that's a good area. Okay, to put a stone cutter. Actually, there's an even better one over here. Wait a minute, think. What's the quantity here? If you wiggle the mouse around, you can see here. Oh, it's gone. Where I've got this mouse, the stone type on this edge is 12, and on this one, yeah, that's really good because that was the black area. But the stone quantity is 212 to 183, which is good enough. But over here, where it's all white, that stone quantity is 255. So, but let's have a look at the stone type in that area. Aha, that has a black on there. Brilliant. Yeah, so I like that one. So, now we're not going to buy anything quite just yet. I'm going to plan it first, okay? All right. So that's a little area there where we've got the stone type is our thing, but the stone quantity is excellent. Okay, all right. Now notice also geothermal heating. When there's geothermal heating, whoa, that's really good. All the whole area is really good. What that means is that during winter, you'll have less heating bill, less wood be needed. All right. And the other thing to check is stability, which will affect the amount of repairs that you have to do. Ooh, that's okay. So this area here in that stability is not bad. So you have to work out the average here on this yourself. So that is a black area of stability there, but in this other one, that is not bad. And just check again the stone type. It's all black, good, and the stone quantity was also not bad, but it's starting to get down to 180 something on that area. So these are the kinds of things you have to balance. Is do you go for the stability, which will affect your repair level, particularly during disasters, those are flood, for example, things, or do things. So I'm leaning towards this area for the stone cutter. All right, now let's have a look at wood. Ooh, right, okay. This area is better for wood. Okay, wood quantity 229, 223. What about the wood type? Let's have a look at that. Good, plenty of pine. Okay, so what we will do is we will build the wood thingy on this side. All right, now what I'm doing here is I'm pressing the left button to cut the area, but then I'm doing shift to include the extra bits. Now what you can do is you can do this, and when it goes 1 pixel too far, all right, then you just back off one, and that gives you up to that side. All right. Yeah. So again, shift key and the mouse, and don't try and buy the other person's sawmill. All right, now the area that I come up with here is 27 by 30. All right. So that's a sawmill, 27 by 30. Should we make it a little bit bigger? Let's make it a tiny bit bigger. 28 by 30. Dunk, dunk. 29. One more. 30. All right. Okay. All right. So, and what we're going to do is go to, where is it? Not build. Commands. I tend to leave these all open. Node, tis mining. Oh, yeah, buy land. All right. So we're going to buy that little plot there. Now, notice that I deliberately put it against the roads because when you put things against the edge of roads, you get a better economic thing. But it's important to note that there is something like a 50% match. You have to be within 50% of the road in order to be able to take advantage of that thing. So first we're going to do is we're going to go to the building settings of this road. I'm going to click on that and check the building settings of that. And here you can see that the economic power of this road is 150. So if we were to build a 100% sawmill, we're still within that. We get the bonus from that road. Okay, right. Oh nuts! We lost our thing. So again, starting off with the big area, and then hold the shift key down, and edge up to that. Edge up to back off 1 pixel. Obviously, a lot easier if you zoom in. Don't try and buy the other person's thing. And now we can, that's a 24 by 30, that's a 27 by 30, 29. One more pixel. Yeah. 30, yes. You can use these things as extend one to north, south, east, and west. That's what they're for. I think. All right, so we are happy with this. Let's check the amount. The cost of the land is 9 gold. That's okay. Buy. All right, so that's happily queued. Now, notice that there's a workforce here. Okay, so on the you particularly want to pay attention to the economics, which are on the Townforge manual. A workforce, if you're going to build houses, I'm just looking at the table off the screen. A workforce, when you build your own one, it benefits from having up to 4 basic houses, being within 1 military, but you get a penalty for having more than 2 workforces within the same influence, and the influence is this line here. Okay, so everything revolves around this. The cooperation from influence. Notice here that the line is going around only one around the road, so you have to be right against the edge in order to take advantage of that. Okay, so now what's doing? So that workforce, we want, if we're going to build a workforce, we want it outside of that area of influence. So, and we also want it on the road. So we're going to build R1. There. Where was it? It starts from there. So we're going to go. That gives us a starting point. Then we can go oomph up to there. And we're going to go down oomph all the way to there. And let's check the size on that. It is 13 by 30. So let's make it a little bit bigger. 17 by 30. 19. 20. Okay, 20 by 30. Now, before we buy it, let's check the stability. Yeah, that's on the area that we'd end up with. That's on good stability, and it's on monster geothermal. Now, to get clear look on this, I tend to you run just on gemstone, and that gives us. Oh, we bought that plot of land. Woot! So off we go. Buy, buy, buy. All right, and that will be our workforce. And then we can have look at building the things. You want the houses to be within the influence of your workforce. Okay, so and they're quite small, so they don't have that much influence. So all these things you have to plan them out. Now we wanted. Let's have a look and see if we see what the agriculture is like in this area. Because at some point we want to build a farm, and the farms have to be quite big. They have to be 64 by 64. So that's agricultural is about 150 in that corner, and 183 in that corner, which will think, no, ooh, somebody's got a good area there, and there's a massive area there that somebody's taken on that one. Okay, all right, so let's see what a 64 by 64 agricultural looks like. Let's go back to gemstone to get the contrast right. Oh, hey, our 20 by 30 plot of land, which will be for our workforces are being bought. Okay, so yep, not trying to buy somebody else's land. Go right up against the edge and then go back one. That's a 28 by 49 so far. So let's go there, 28 by 65. 65, okay, all right, that will do as agricultural. So the selection there is 65. 51, more area, 59, 65. All right. Okay, all right, so that, I think we'll have that. We'll have that. How much does it cost? It will be 42 gold. Okay, all right, we'll have that. So that one was going through. All right, now you notice we're not actually I want to get down into this area here. We're not actually filling them out yet. We're just buying the land. Okay. All right. Now, I really like getting little houses, and the thing is that by getting the little houses, you get the benefit. So this is going to be our workforce. You get the benefit, but without the cost. Okay. So the workforce will benefit from having up to 4 little houses. So what we're going to do is we're going to build the tiniest little house we can possibly make. All right. Okay, maybe not that small. All right, so that's an 8 by 7. So 8 by 7 is too small. So we want an 8 by 8. Buy. All right, and here what we can do is we can, by going, okay, it's that one. All right, good. You see what I did there? I selected the area based on the previous highlighted one, and I'm still using the shift key. 8 key, 7 by 4, 8 by 7, one more. Buy. Okay, and then again we get out of the way. Go on, out of the way. Out of the way. All right, click the pixel below it. There we go, see? All right, so we can get, and how many is that? Where's the, scroll down. there's a section 7x4, so we want one more, and 8x7, 8x8. Now, if you get these wrong, you can always just resize them, so don't worry about it. And click on that pixel. 1x5. Yeah. That's too small. Okay, so we can't quite fit a thing in there. So we can do what we can do later is we can, when those images come up, you'll see there'll be space here for a road. All right. Down the middle between the two houses. Roads give you you get the benefit from your roads. Thing. So we've got, let's have a look and see how many cute commands we've got. That land purchase at 65. We've got tiny houses, cute houses. I love cute houses. All right. So yeah, so that's outside of that. So this person, whoever they are, they will get the benefit of the fact that we're going to drop these little houses in, because our houses are within the thing. But on our workforce, we'll get the benefit of the fact that there's these. For our workforce, will get the benefit of the fact that we're putting 3 houses down here. All right. So where was our quarry? So we're not gonna buy the land, but we're gonna set up a 65. We're gonna highlight a 65 area. 64. 65. There we go. All right. So now if we zoom in on this, we can select there. All right. Now we've got that area. Whilst we're waiting for that. These cute commands to go through, we can lay out a quarry area of our own. So we want this to be, do we want to be 27 by 30? Yeah, let's check it. Stone quantity. Oh, that's really bright. That's not bad. Stone type. Good. Let's wiggle the mouse around in this area. Yes, it's down at 18 up in that corner, so that's plenty of sandstone. And the stability. Yuck. Okay, so to up that stability a little bit, I'm going to bring that over this area here. So we're now at a 27 by 44, which is not bad. Ah, there we go. There's our plot of land, and our geothermal is woof, really bright. Okay, all right. So I'm happy with that. How much does it cost? It costs 11. All right, okay. Buy. Okay. Now, I'd really like to get a road which joins these two together, okay, because you get an increased, joins these together to this road, so because you get an increased you get increases on the thing because of doing that. Okay, so again, we're going to go down to pick that. Right, I think I got that right. And that's that area. All right, now this road is 18 by 17. That's actually too big. So again, I don't want that much road. I want to do a 150% road, and you only need 15 pixels for that. Oh, right, okay, that was the other way around. So 6, 10, 32, 13, 14, 12, 13, 14. 15. Brilliant. Okay. You know what? Let's make it a 12. It will connect to them fine, no problem. All right. So because it costs quite a bit more to do things, you use quite a lot more sandstone by doing that. So let's make it 10, 11, 12. Okay, all right. So using that trick of selection at the edge, remember shift key to include areas. All right, and you can exclude areas by using control. So I'm going to wipe that area out. I think, oh yeah, let's just check that we got that right. Oh yeah, jammy, we got that right. Okay. When you buy the area, you buy in rectangle, so no matter how much of a thing you do, you end up buying the largest rectangle. So this number, the selection 12 by 40, is what we need to pay attention to. Dum-chi-dum. And how much was it again? Oh, a whole 5 gold pieces. Buy. All right. Okay. Let's come back to. It's a bit of pain. We need a back off thing here, but. All right. Sorry for spinning it round like that. Okay. So here's our lovely little things. Let's resize this one. Okay. So select the whole flag. And extend. I can never tell which one points the compass. The compass over here points. So I'm guessing that red means south. It didn't. Okay. Select whole flag. Blue means. Wait. No, it does actually. Compass means north. The compass pointing north at the moment. So. Yes, right, okay, so expend while tile north. Red does mean the direct. I'm confused. I'm just going to press the buttons. Okay, no, think, is that little house? Yes, that's right against the edge. So then, having done that, we do resize, okay, and that will cost us a little bit more money, so we'll end up buying that extra land. Okay. So let's recap. This is going to be our workforce. These are going to be our little buildings. This is going to be our stone quantity. Let's check that. No, this was going to be our sawmill. Yeah, because that wood quantity is lovely over here. 229, because there's a big central area. There's somewhere around here that will be the central point for that thing, and that one is going to be our up here. Let's do the select whole flag to show you. Select whole flag. That's going to be our quarry. The road is going to be coming down here on the next clock cycle. Next not tick. Block. Next block. Remember, this is a crypto game, so it's storing in a crypto chain, in a Monero privacy respecting chain. It's just awesome, that the whole idea that it's completely you can't be. Nobody can stiff you on exit from this game, so you can take your currency out without people messing you up. All right, now I'd also like these little buildings. Now this one over here is going to have its own road. You're going to get the benefit from this big road here, but none of the other ones will unless we make our own road. So that's what we're going to do here. Good, that little building is being resized. Excellent. Okay, All right. So and that will cost us a whole two gold pieces. So we're going to buy that road. Did I make it the right size? I didn't. Minimum roads are 8, so we'll have to resize that later. Never mind. Okay, all right. So our road landed in the thing as well. Brilliant. Okay. So now let's have a look at what if we were to make this a tiny little building, a basic residential, what sort of income would we get from it? So it's a size 8 by 8, economic power is 100, basic residential. Don't worry about those quantities there for now. The estimated income in this area will be a whole 0.24 gold pieces, which is peanuts. Notice the road bonus there is 15 though. All right, so we can go up to if we go up to economic power of 150, then that road bonus still applies because it's on a road that is 150 economic potential, and our estimated income goes up to 0.36. Okay. All right. Let's see at which point it runs out. Let's try 200 basic residential. Oh, we still get a road bonus at thing, but the income. Look at the income. It's still only 0.48. All right. So let's try a 210 with right, a 210. We're running out. Our road bonus goes thing, and therefore our estimated income drops from 0.48 to 0.44, despite the fact that it's gone up by 5% in economic power, because the road was we don't get the road bonus, we don't get it actually drops in income. All right, so let's go down to 200 and get a road bonus of 15%, but the income is still, it's peanuts. Okay, all right. So we could make the building, make it a 32 by 32. So an 8 by 8 here would be 32 by 2 will be 4 times bigger in each dimension. So that will be 4 squared. 4 fours are 16, so we get 16 times more income if we did a 32 by 32. 32 by 32 times 0.48 or half will be only 16 gold on thing, but we'd need to get 16 times the amount of sandstone and pine and labor. All right, so to fill that 32 by 32. So all right, so well, I think what we're going to do here is we're going to we've got our workforce here. So to activate our workforce, we're just going to make these minimum basic residentials. Okay, now let's check out the and to show you what that this is in fact this thing. Did you notice I only had one tiny square? Right, there's one tiny square highlighted because I only click with the mouse. When you do that, it gives you a highlighting of the thing. But if I select the whole flag, and now it bit more obvious for you. Okay, all right. So let's click on that road, show you the whole flag, and go to the building settings for that person's thing. And here you see the economic power is 150%. All right, and it's costing them 0.2 for land tax per tick, and they get 0.23 income. Okay, and that's because of that workforce at the other end, their workforce and things. So the estimated profit they're getting is 12% profit on this thing, which is 0.02 gold. That's right. Not very significant, but it becomes bigger when you connect to other roads, etc., etc. So that's the building that they were benefiting from. This person's flag is empty, so they don't get any benefit from that one, etc., etc. So that was the only building that they get benefit from on this road that they've got. Oh. That's our road, which we select the whole flag, and let's extend it. Where are we going? West? No, yeah, wrong way. Select the whole flag again. East? Nope. Select the whole flag, and we want to go east. So it's 7 and 8, 9. Let's make it 9. Okay, 9 wide. And resize. Oh, hang on. No, they have to be. Let's cancel that command. Cancel. There we go. I seem to recall they have to be 10. So let's do that again. East and resize to 10 wide. Okay, brilliant. Okay. Now we're going to actually do the buying of the stuff that's needed for this land. Okay, all right. So we have two little buildings, two little. Select the whole file. We've got two of those. Okay, so we go into building settings, and you can use this calculator. You can use it, to do the maths for you. Okay, all right. So the sandstone, right? You notice that we don't have any thing in our market. So so it takes you to the market. We're too short on all of these things. Okay, so so we're getting how many? We're going to do two residential, two little basic residential. So we're going to, the sandstone we're short on is 64, but we're going to go to two of those. So we want 128 sandstone buy. That will cost us 0.76. We want 640, but we actually want 1280 pine because it's times 2. Right. Press escape again to go back to that. The labor is 3072, so labor there is 6000. Let's just do 6200 labor on that. Buy. Okay. Did I say 6200? I did. I went 3100 times 2, 6200. Okay. All right. So that's just to give us that. All right. Now here's our road. Let's do this road. Okay, building settings. Okay, road, and we want an economic power of 120 on our road. So this is the size is 12 by 7. So if we go back to here, it will tell you what sizes you can do. Ooh, we can do 130% road. Let's do that. Okay. All right. And here now here we need 21,960, so let's just make it to 22,000, and the sandstone we need is 2745, so let's go 28. You notice I clicked on the price, and that you click on that price, and it will fill it into here. How much sandstone? No, don't want 27. So click on that, and we want 2800. That will cost us a whole 16 gold. And here, well, let's get labor. Let's get 22,000. So click on that. 22,000, and that will cost us 8.8 or 9-ish. Okay. All right, brilliant. So remember, again, we're just buying the things at the moment. We're putting the stuff in the queue. All right, we're not actually committing the orders yet. Okay. All right, so we're just checking. All right, so this one we are going to, I'll just show you which one I'm select whole flag. So we're showing you which one I'm doing. Okay. All right, and this one again, let's double check it. This one was our, well, that's quite good, but it wasn't the one we wanted, was it? This was the one. Let's just double check. Yes, this one is the better wood. You see the shadowing over here, the brightness on that one is not as high. So this is the one that we want it to be wood, the sawmill, and good. The pine is down there building. So building settings, and we could build 150% sawmill, but if we do that, it will cost us so much that we won't be able to pay for it. Okay, so right, size 30 by 30. Now it will produce 1884 pine for us each tick, and it will produce 42 oak. But it will take 57 pine each tick in production costs. It will be 1500 labor, and it will be 29 sandstone. Okay, that's all right. That's okay. Road bonus. Okay, now we're going to need 28,000, call it 29 in labor. Now these are the infinite prices, so because it's the game is just we're just doing this right at the beginning of the game. Later on in the game, once it's well established, you should find that the labor and sandstone, etc., there are people actually selling it, so you'll be able to buy it at less than the infinite supply prices. These are expensive, and that's deliberately so. Because the author of the game doesn't want this, people to just be able to arbitrarily buy massive amounts and starve the money of the mining, starve the system of mining. Okay, so 29,000 there. All our trades, if you look down here, you can see it's this. All of the trades are still in the queue because we haven't had a block mining yet. Okay, how much of that do we need? 3,600. 3,600 pine. That's 3.6, and 1,800 on the sandstone. Sandstone is really expensive compared to pine. That's thoroughly deliberate on the part of the game writer. He's really thought about this. I was so impressed with this thing. All right, so buy that. Okay. All right. So escape from that. Again, we're just putting the things into the queue. We're not actually doing them. Oh, we've bought some stuff. Okay. All right. So let's check our budget. Of our 400, we're now down to 378. Okay. All right, so we're still good. Here's our building settings. Okay, this is large enough for a 300% commercial or a 300% workforce. Woohoo! All right, so workforce. Okay, notice that these numbers. You still have to buy these, otherwise we're going to be taking them out of our budget that we've bought for the other things. So we still have to buy these exact amounts or greater. Okay. All right. So we've got labor 24,000, pine 3,600, and sandstone 1,200. Okay. Now, if we wanted to, we could put. Let's have a check that again. Workforce. How much labor does this produce? This produces 10,000 labor for us. Now, if we were to do it as 120 workforce, we would get 12,000. If we were to go up to, say, 150, we would get 15,000 labor. Okay. Now, remember, this labor is going to be used in the sawmill that we bought, and in the that we're buying, and in the quarry. And in the agriculture place, thing. If we get that, okay. So let's have a look at how much. If we were to, I'll show you what I think. Select whole flag, just so you can see that that's what we're doing. That's what I clicked on. Building settings. 100% large flag is large enough for 100% agricultural. Okay, so let's set it at agricultural. And the labor needed is, sowing labor is enormous. 84,000 to sow it, but that's not including the harvesting. Harvesting is extra thing, and we would need here. There's 87,000 if it's vegetables. That is 87,000 labor. So that's an enormous. That's 160,000 labor needed. So we want our workforce to be generating that for us. Okay. So our workforce would, where are we? We're saying select whole flag again so you can see what I'm doing. Our workforce, if we were to do at 150, would produce 15,000 per tick. So that would give us, excluding all of the other things that were being in it that have been taken out of that budget per tick, that would give us 150,000 labor, which would be just enough for us to be able to do the if after 10, 11, 12, after 12 ticks, we should be in the region of being able to actually harvest, sow and harvest our own thing. But in the meantime, what we can do is we can go to the markets and actually pay for and buy the labor there. Right, and hopefully when the game's established, you will find that people are actually providing and selling labor at less than the infinite value. Okay, all right, so let us actually do that. We're going to put our workforce at, we're not going to do 150, let's do 140, okay, all right, and that will produce 14,000 labor per tick. Now, you know what, let's do 150, okay. All right, so the sandstone needed is 21,000, so let's do 22,000, that's 2.2 there. No, that's pine. 20, so 13 coin for the sandstone. Pine 6,400, so that we're going to do 6,500 on that. 6,500. That's total of 6.5 coin there. And our labor is 43,200, so let's make that 44. That's thing. Yep, that's good. So click on that. So 44 gold for that. Okay, brilliant. Now there was one last one that we want to do, and we're going to leave this road blank, and we're going to leave this building blank for now. Now the other one that we're going to buy the budgets for, by the materials, etc. for, is our quarry. So we selected that one, and this one we could do a 130% stone cutter, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to do him at economic power 100. Oh, that's a lot. 7128, 7128, and 85,000. Call it 86. So labor 86,000. Labor, so that's 34 on that. Sandstone 7128. It will be really good to have this game going with other people where they're actually selling things like sandstone. and then you wouldn't have to be buying everything at the full market, the infinite supply prices. And pine is 7128 as well. 7128. Buy. Okay. All right. So we've done that one. Here is our. Okay, so we've got 6 queued commands. We've got lots of buying stuff on the way. Okay. What's our balance? Is 364. Excellent. Okay. All right. So this one is going to be our sawmill. This one is going to be our road at 120%. This one is our quarry. This one is our workforce. And these two tiny little ones here and here are our things, and we're leaving this for later because we want to build that road so that later on this building, this little basic residential, will have a thing, have an economic benefit from the road as well. Now, let us just check again. Building settings. This was our sawmill. Yes, here we've got the road bonus. We're getting a road bonus of 12%. Excellent. And later on we will have a road bonus from this one. So let's actually just go ahead and actually buy this road. So we prepared everything, and now we're going to actually buy a road. Notice that you've got a loss per tick, but the reason for that is because we haven't got anything that's active on that thing yet. So economic power 130, commit. So, and just checking the queued commands. We're building a new road. Woot. So the reason I did that is because when it goes through, you will see that this jumps our benefit to our quarry. Our quarry will get a bonus from road bonus from that as well. Okay, so let us also do the basic residential. We're not going to do any bonuses on this one. We're just going to that one. Building settings. We're going to increase the economic power on those. Basic residential. Buy at 100. Well, there we go. There, our road got built. Well, hey, all right. So let us now go and have a look at. Select the whole flag so you can see it. And this one is going to be our stone cutter. And where is the road bonus? Road bonus, 10%. Hey, that's interesting. We've got a cliff modifier of plus 9%, plus 10% on that. So that's really good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look on. I don't often do this because it's on a really page down. Yeah, it's on cliff side. So I wouldn't worry about the heights on things, but when you buy something that's on a cliff, the economic power is when you buy a quarry on a cliff, it's easier to get at the stone. So this guy is, whoa, that's an economic power of 300 for that one. Cliff modifier of plus 22%, which is thing, and 25,000 sandstone per tick. Holy cow! But it cost him 3 million labour to buy. All right, so let's go back to the high contrast. I like the high contrast of the gemstone thing, which, by the way, is over there. That's one of those stripes is the thing. Okay, so we didn't buy that yet. Stonecutter. Right, we prepared all of our budgets. We budgeted everything for this at 100% economic power, so we're not going to change that to higher, and we're happy with the fact that we are getting 966 sandstone, and because it's not a completely zero black stone type, we are actually getting 47 granite per tick. That's all right. So, okay, commit. How are we doing on the thing? Now, we can just buy these things with the materials that we've got, and we've still got a balance of 216. Not bad. Okay, so this is our workforce, and here we planned this one for 150, didn't we? So, dink. So 150 is still within the road bonus, to 12%. Again, if we go to like 260, you notice that road bonus disappears. And that's because that road is a 150%. So again, if we the road it's next to is a 150% road. So we can go up to, that's 200, no, yeah, we can go up to 210 because that's 150 plus 50% is 205. So we're just on that border. So we could do a 200%, but we decided not to do that. We're going to do 150. All right. But if we did so, notice that the labor goes up. So at 100% economic power, we've got the labor produced is 10,120. At 200% economic power, it doubles and a bit to 21,000. Okay. So we are doing 150 buy. Okay, all right. So let's check our queued commands. We have a workforce and a stone cutter in the queue. We don't have the sawmill yet, so let's do that one as well. And again, notice that again it's not, the oak is 42 production per tick and 1884 pine. It's all right. That's okay. All right. So we're not going to do any production bonuses on this. We are going to end up with some extra oak, which we can sell in the markets. Woot. And the pine, we can actually use that in the stuff, in the things that we're doing for making more buildings. So where we had to buy the pine here to make this, because we now have a sawmill, if we wanted to do another sawmill, we would, in 2 ticks, economic ticks, which go every 360 blocks, by the way, we would get 3,600 pine, and we would be able to build a sawmill of 30 by 30 with that thing. Woohoo! All right, so just to confirm, we are going to spend 1,800 sandstone, 36,600 pine, and 2880 labor on our economic power sawmill at 100%. With 100% multiplier, so no multiplier effect. Go. Hooray, we have our stone cutter. Woohoo! All right, let's have a look. So our stone cutter, now that we've got this, our stone cutter will need every tick, will need 5,569 naylor, 500 food, heating 374, sandstone 112 will be taken out of our what we're producing, and it will 446 pine. So this is why you need both a sandstone and a sawmill, okay, because they work in conjunction with each other. So it will be producing 996 sandstone, but will be costing 112. Okay, and the that cliff modifier go the 9% is what is already added in to, and produce that 9%, that 966, and also you've got the road bonus as well of plus 10%. So there's a plus 19% benefit for having it being on a cliff and next to a road. All right. So likewise, our sawmill needs food of 400, labor 1500, and produces 1884 pine, but it takes 57 out of that, and you notice that the stonecutter also took some pine. So we will end up with that in our budget. Now, so that's 1500 labor there, and our stonecutter takes 5500, but our workforce, which hasn't gone through yet, a workforce produced, how much was it? 15,000. So that would be 15,000 minus 1500 minus 5,500. We're looking at about an 8,000 surplus labor. Woohoo! And when it gets on its tick, we will see what happens there. I think. Now, I'm going to leave that going, and I'm going to go to another area where I wanted to show you the whole point of doing the things of going to other areas to take advantage of other people's things. We've shown you that we're taking advantage of this 150% road here to get the benefit on the workforce and our sawmill. Did it go tick on our workforce yet? No, it didn't. Okay, all right. So let's go off to fly to another area. Let's put it onto the natural thing because it looks pretty. All right. That's Jason's tower. That's the embassy. Really cool by Sykes-Ski, that. This is Jason's very cute little metropolitan area. And I specifically wanted to take you to this area over here, where there are some buildings in the area which, if you check the manual and the influences, you'll see the numbers on this for yourself. Okay. Let's go back to gemstone to get us some black background. Ooh, somebody's getting that's an agricultural on top of a massive gemstone area. Oh well, never mind. Now, this road here, this green road, is a 270% economic power, and he spent nearly 800,000 labor on it, but he gets 7 economic profit with 804% return. So the roads are good for the strategic value that you get from the things connected, with the buildings that connect to them, rather than for the actual roads themselves. So there's a strategic value. Right now, this workforce is a 250 economic power workforce. Okay, so whoever's doing that is getting 93,000 labor per tick. Not bad. But we can build our basic residential anywhere within the area shown by that the blue line. Now, there's a specific reason for picking this, because basic residentials benefit from. They go. Okay, I'm looking off screen at the table, which you should really have open all the time. Basic residentials get a penalty from industrial, benefit from being one commercial, benefit from being in amongst 4 other basic residentials, benefit from 2 affluent, benefit from 1 luxury, 1 military, but a penalty if there are 4 military in the area within their influencing them, and a benefit from 2 cultural. Okay, so if we can, I'm going back down. I've lost the damn thing again. Sorry, I'm off screen at the moment, and I want to look at this table. I think if we can put our basic residential within this area, where this has benefit from all of those different things, then we are onto a winner. All right, so there's a military, right, and its radius of influence is way out there. Okay, so it's huge. Okay, here's an affluent residential, all right, sitting on that hill. Okay, and its benefit goes way out, all the way out to this area here. Can you see that, the flashing line there? Okay, so we're still, this is a thing, so that's 2. Okay, and I'm going to highlight this one, okay, so that you can see. So in fact, sorry. So that's that's empty, but this one is a basic residential. That's 1, 2 basic residentials. Are there any others? Obviously, somebody else noticed. So this workforce gains benefit from it. So if we built a workforce within this area, we would get the benefit from it. But so remember, it's the workforce gets the benefit from the basic residentials, but the basic residentials get benefit from being in amongst other residentials and culture and military, but not, as long as there's not 3 of them covering the same area, covering the influence of the same area. Okay, all right, so let's be nice and kind to this person and put in a thing, but we have quite a lot here that we can think. Now, road, let's check that again, I'll show you that whole flag thing. Let's check its settings, and it is a 270 economic power. Okay, all right, so we are going to do a little building the same size. I'm going to zoom in here to get the line it up on there. We're going to do one little one, okay, right, and that's a 4.38 gold, so that's plenty within our budget. We've got 216 left, and we're also going to zoom in and got it, and do one that is double that size, and we're going to leave those in the queue for now. Okay, all right, so we deliberately picked it next to the 270. Now that road, notice, is somebody's obviously planned to buy that road, and could build a 270% road, but they notice that they haven't done so. So there's no point in us putting a building here on this edge, unless because at the moment, so we can sort of hope that they might do it later, but we would be critically dependent on them for doing so. So this road is a 180% road, and somebody else has already occupied these 2 spaces, obviously because they noticed that there's joining 2 roads. Okay, so they will get more benefit from there being more roads, whereas here that road hasn't been done. This one has. All right, what's the economic thing on that one? Okay, right. So that's a 270 road. Aha, and that's a 270 road. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to buy crossing over on that one, making sure we don't end up trying to buy the road. Oops, you can see that that's within that. Oh no, it's everything. We're going to buy that area there. Okay, because that's on 270% roads. We're going to make it a little bit bigger. What's the size we're buying at? We're buying 34 by 40. That's quite big, and that will cost us 10. So I'm going to make it a bit smaller. I'm going to make it. There's our little thing's been. Oh, nuts. We're selecting somebody else's flag. Shame. They've got the idea of putting it on the corner of two roads as well. Oh well. We can't do that. Never mind. Okay, right. Now I think we've spent enough time. I think, why is our workforce is not building? I know why it's not building. That's because we don't have enough in each of those. So sandstone we needed 2255. For pine we got 50,000, and labour we got 760. Okay, all right. Let's come back to this because we need to think now to fly to our buildings, our areas. Let's go select the buildings, and then you just double click on one of them and wait for it. There we go. All right, so that's jumped back to our area here, and let's it's align ourselves. Which way up are we? Excellent, we're that way up. Okay, all right, so we are trying to buy that workforce there. Workforce 150%. Yes, I think we forgot to buy that labour. So we have enough sandstone, we have enough pine, but we don't have enough labour. So we're going to buy 44,000 labour, and that's 17 coins, so that's good. We're okay. Brilliant. We're in budget now. That when it goes through, we should see that it does actually go through. We're going to explore the things, and we'll cover that in a bit. I think so. Question mark on our the owner thing. Click on buildings, and where was the flag that we bought the last one? That one, I think it was. And 1, 2, 3 is drawing. Brilliant. Okay, we're back to this area. Okay, all right. Now let us check these buildings. Okay, so that affluent residential, that's a 1 benefit. The basic residential has an influence, so that's a basic 1. That's a basic 2 on our thing. And yes, it is. It's still, that basic residential is still on our thing. There's commercial, but we're not relevant about commercial, and it's a military. Excellent. Okay. All right. So let us look. I think again highlight it for you to show you which one I'm doing. And let's check the economics on this one. Okay, so what is really nice about the basic residential is that no matter the size, you can still go all the way up to 300%. Awesome, let's do that. Normally, with other ones, you are limited. If you buy the plot too small, you can't buy the bigger things. Okay, all right. So let's check and see. Basic residential. Ooh, 13 income of 13 gold per tick. Cool. And it needs food 1300, that's okay. Heating, it needs 1722, that's also okay. The road bonus is 27% because we're on a next to a 270% thing. Woohoo! Right, now on our labour and sandstone, those are going to be the thing. Can we do those? So let's have a look at for sandstone. Have we got room for not 4,500, 4,500? Yes, that sandstone is cost us only 27, and we have. Let's check how much money we've got. 200 coin. Brilliant. And let's check the labour. Okay, so again, basic residential. Awesome, 300%. Let's check the labour. Now that was 210,000, wasn't it? 84. Whoa, that's a lot. That's a big chunk out of our budget, isn't it? Shall we do it? Tell you what, let's do the maths. Okay, if we go down to 250, that only gives us 11 income. If we do 270, that will give us 12. And see here, but it will cost 180,000 labour. 180,000 will cost us 70 labour. That, you know what? That's a reasonable trade-off, I think. So we'll do that. We'll go for the thing. Bear in mind, we've still got to leave enough money to be able to buy the food because we haven't got a agriculture, and it's going to take several cycles for us to get to the point where we're going to have the agriculture, etc., etc. Okay, so we're going to commit to that. That's a buy at 180,000. That's 72 and 3840. 3840. That's 20. How much was it? 3857. 38. So we don't want to take it out of our other budgets. So things that we bought. Let's check our. Yeah, that will go through. It didn't go through, the workforce didn't go through because we didn't have enough labour thing. Right, we bought the 44,000 labour, which has cost us, yeah, we're down to 185, so we're still okay. Dum-chi-dum. What were we doing? We were doing basic residential, and we were doing 270, and we have now the sandstone is going to go from the into the workforce building, so we could wait for that to go through and see what it does. But what the heck? Let's just buy 3857. 3857, and that's going to cost us 23. Let's give it a no. Let's give it a nice. Oh, we can't buy it yet because we've got to wait for those two purchases to go through. Fred's house. Now, just to recap, the only reason why this is we're getting that 13 gold pieces because we've got benefit from so many different buildings. 1, the affluent residential. 2, the military. 3, that basic residential. And 4, that basic residential. Oh, there's another one. Another affluent residential. So that's 2 affluent residentials. Yes, they're within that, well within that. So this is why this is such a good area for us to buy our thing, because you get when you buy a basic residential, you get benefit from 2 affluent, 1 luxury, 4 basic, 1 commercial. The commercial as well. Right, see that commercial, because of course the whole idea is that a person working somewhere, they get benefit from commercial. They can go to go work at the shop. Duh. Right. So yeah, all of these things result in that increase in the economic payment, economic value from renting out this basic house. Okay, so we're still waiting for that 180,000 labor to go through. Let's just check and see what we would get if we just bought it as a basic residential at 100% economic power. We'd only get 3, an estimated income of 3.6, which I think I don't want that thing. So if we do, but the labor required to buy it was only 42,000, not 185,000. Okay, so these are the kinds of trade-offs that you need to take into consideration. So let's go and have a look back at that. Let's drop on top of the stone cutter. We're waiting for another. Let's turn it back upside down, backwards. We're waiting for another block to go through because we're waiting for that commercial to go through. And let's just double check the amount of labor workforce that was needed for that was 150, 43,200. Yes, so notice how the market is saying we've got enough. So we do actually have enough in our budget to in our labor budget to be able to thing and everything in the markets to be able to buy that. Now, I also wanted to see if we also have enough to buy this as an agricultural. Oh, we've already bought it. So this was our 64 by 64. Let's select the whole plot. And I want to see if, as agricultural, we can actually buy that. Right, so we need 37,000 labor, 5,000 pine, and 2,100 sandstone, which, yeah, that's within our, I reckon that's within our budget. We've got our workforce, yay! Okay, let's have a look at the settings on this. Great, it produces 15,000 labor. It cost us 43,000. It's going to need 1.14 money each tick, and there is going to be the land tax of 0.004. It's going to need food of 800, and it's going to need heating of 550. Okay, all right, so those are our numbers for the thing. Now let's go and jump back to our, let's go to our buildings. And where's our, great, okay, whoops, daisy. Remember, once you've bought all the stuff, you just can click on the thing and it will buy that plot. It will, allocate that plot. So, and the materials that you have already bought and put into the building, you can use those to do the construction. You don't have to buy any more stuff. Okay, all right. So you don't have to buy any more pine. You don't have to buy any more sandstone. All right, to put into it. So let's have a look. 270, 185,000. Yeah. I'm sure I did actually click on the market to buy that. I probably didn't click on that to buy that 185,000, did I? Okay, so we're 3,604 short. No, because didn't that's funny. Okay, so we only have to buy. Oh well, let's buy 4,000. 1.6. All right. So the thing now. One of the other benefits from thing is having a cultural benefits to basic buildings is having a cultural. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to make this one a cultural. Okay, and we could now. Oh, we get an income of 2. All right. So what happens if we put that up to 300? Ooh, we get an income of 9. Ooh, an income of 9. We need teak. We're 743 short of teak, and we need marble for that. So let's have a look and see how much. Oh, somebody's very kindly doing that. 744, 73 marble. Yeah, no, we've only got a balance of 90 left, so we're not going to be doing that. What if we put it down to 190? We need oak at 647. Ooh, somebody's put some oak on the market. 647, and that would be all right. That would be 1.2. So, and it would be get an income of 3.81. And we also need some granites. Oh wait, do we need oak at 647? We've got the thing. Granite 647, and that will be 12. So it's 12 of those, but we've got still enough sandstone there. Let's have a look and see what the price of that sandstone would. 1,200 sandstone would 24. No, that we're starting to push our luck. We're getting a cultural at that. Okay, let's put it down a bit to say. Let's have a look and see at the point at which we don't need the oak. Ah, good. Okay, so we can get away at 140%. We get 3. Bear in mind, this is going to give us a extra tick. Extra benefit to our basic residential if we get this, but still get a 2.8 income per tick on the thing. All right, so it needs food 300, heating at 436. That's okay. That's all right. We'll do those calculations in a minute on that one. All right, so. You know what? Just for the principle of it, I'm just going to do it at 100. But you get the idea. So we get 2 at a 100 thing. So I want to go into the markets. Now we need 1,300, and I want to make sure that you know what. That's okay. All right, we'll go for that. Let's see what we've got queued there. We've got buy 4,000 labour. Yes, we do want to make sure we don't overrun the budget of that. Take the away from the other person's budget. If I think so, we are going to calculate here. We need 1,300. We need 15,000 labour. It's bought. Okay, so we're okay on that thing. All right, but here's a quick tip to get into the markets without going to the other screen. Labour 15,000. Right, so we did not the thing. Hang on. Cultural needs, yes, we need 16,000. So go over budget there. Oh, somebody's selling at 0.0999, so let's buy that 16,000. That will get less. Well, it'll cost us less. That's annoying. That's because we're trying to buy teak. Trying to buy 16,000 teak. Oh, that was close. I think I made a mistake there. All right, so that's going to kind of cost us 6.4. And again, go back to that to make sure we don't interfere with things. We only need 1,300 sandstone and 1,300 pine, so put it back to 300 to get it to say too short, and get 1311. Whoa. Sigh. 1,300, 1,311 thing. It's going to use up all of our balance. That won't leave us enough food thing. So anyway, you get the idea. We can do that later on another tick once you've got some more income from the thing, but you get the general idea. Okay. The alternative is we could make a really tiny, I tell you what, let's make a really tiny cultural. Let's make a really small one. And that is 9 by 7. Ah, too big. Really, really small. 6 by 4. The idea is to get a cultural, not to. I think. Oh, wow. I think. What's it doing? I think it's making it a little bit bigger. Okay, that's better. All right, it won't let us buy anything that small. It'll let us buy a 6 by 5, but thing. We just want one cultural, and they don't have very much in the way of influence. Let's see if we can find one. Ah, there we go. There's a cultural, and that one is a 300% cultural, but it's only an influence of only 83 and an income of 3.89. So it's absolutely it's tiny, the thing. We're not going to get very much income from this one, but at least we're going to get some benefit, and that's the point. Right, so we are on this one. Is our basic residential, but we are cranking up to 270. There we've got too much labour now, but never mind. Economic power 270. That's going to take our 185,000 budget and labour and our sandstone and pine. Bye. Okay, all right. Now let's go and look at our tiny, ridiculously tiny cultural thing. Okay, flag enough, large enough for a cultural. Yes. Sandstone 90, pine 90, labour 1080. I think we can do that. All right, so let's deliberately put it above the thing. Oh, that's interesting. Marble 52. That's estimate income 0.49. Oh, brilliant. So let's check that we have enough labour. Go to the markets, labour. Right. Yes, we have plenty of labour enough. Let's go back to sandstone 90 and pine 90. Oh, I think, you know what? I think we can take 90 out of our two little budgets there. I think we've got enough there, so let's get that. All right. Okay, so we're just waiting for that basic residential to go through. And let's go and jump back to there we go. This area and orientate ourselves. Which way round is it? That way. Okay. Ah, residential got built already, which is great. We'll go and have a look at that in a minute. So, nope. Where is it? one. Orientate ourselves. Ah! Okay, all right. Now this starts to look familiar for what we've been previously doing. Okay, so select the hold up flag just so we can see it. Oh, and our 100% cultural got built as well. Woohoo! All right, so let us see if out of our budget, oh, we've got 81 left. If we can actually buy this agricultural, what will it need? We will need 2,112 sandstone. That will cost us 12. Yeah. Labour will be 37,000. $15. Yeah. All right. Pine 5,000 just to make sure. Okay, we've got 5353 in our pine. Okay, all right. So we're good there. Okay. This is looking all right, isn't it? For our 500 budget. Bear in mind that we're riding off the back of other people's things. Now, let's just check our agricultural road bonus 3%. Right. The reason why that's only 3% is because the road that we've built is only on a tiny amount of the edge there. If we'd got that agricultural against here, then there would be benefit from that road. And do you know what? Let's do that. Let's resize this flag so that it is in fact against that 150% road. Now we will be taking a penalty in terms of what the agricultural potential that we can get from it is. Actually, no, we won't. It will actually be better because the epicenter of that big thing is over there. Why didn't we spot that earlier? Okay, all right. So, not in that flag, not in that flag, back off by one. You can do what you're doing is you're going into the other person's flag, and then you're bringing back by 1 pixel until it changes back to your flag. Excellent. All right. Then you can zoom in and have a look, and yes, that's got that right. Okay, all right. So 6546. Yeah, we could do this by doing it, the west and east thing, but I get so confused which way around. 65, 56, 60, 61 to 64. All right, let's do it at 64. Okay, all right. There we go. And I cross fingers that this won't cost us out of our budget to the money thing to actually do it. It will just move it. I'm not actually sure whether resizing you actually end up buying the land that's outside of your resize area. Let's do it anyway and see what happens. So we have a balance of 54, and we're going to resize that command there. All right, cross fingers, we should be okay. Now, let's check, whilst that's resizing, let's go and check our budgets for everything. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look at the overall, all of our buildings. Okay, so none of them are active because there hasn't been a tick. One of those ticks goes every 360 blocks. Okay, crypto blocks. Okay, now look here. We have from that stone cutter, it's 5,000. 5,000, yeah, 5,569. And from the sawmill, let's sort the labours thing. The sawmill was needing. Here's the sawmill. 1,500, but the workforce produces 15,000. So that number that we came out earlier with about 8,000, 8.5, it's about 8.5 was good. So we've got a budget of 8.5. Likewise, we are positive on our sandstone. We're doing 825 per tick, and we're positive on our pine. Woohoo! And we've got a little bit of extra oak, and we don't have any teak, and we have a little bit of granite. That's really good. So every tick we will get positive numbers, but our money will go down. Workforce costs a bit and the tax costs a bit, so we're going down by minus 1.14 plus the land tax plus 0.56. So we're going to be going down by about minus 1.6, 1.7 per tick. So that we have to have a minimum of that amount of money in our bank to be able to tick. We mustn't run out. Likewise, the costs on each of the things, we have to have enough in our budget. So the way it works is that it's consumed from your existing budget at the beginning of the tick, and you get the benefit at you get the production result at the end of the tick, despite the fact that it is in the same actual simultaneous thing. The tick, so you just have to bear with that. So basically it means that in your inventory you must have everything that is needed at the time. All right, so let's go over to our basic residential. I'm going to have a look and see what that is getting us. Okay, that resize has gone through. And it didn't take the money from our budget. Our budget was 50. It's actually gone up because of the resizing. Oh, that's very interesting. So it's given us a little bit back because I resized it from 65 by 65 to 65 by 64. So it gave us a bit of money back. Ooh, wood. All right, this is our cultural. Bless it, our tiny little 100% basic cultural. And its influence is on this one building, which is our basic residential, which is the one that we care about. Okay, so let's have a look at the settings on that, and we find that our income has actually gone up a little bit. I think it was 11 and it's now gone up to 12. Woot. So every tick will get 12 gold, which pays for our tax and our thing. Yay. All right. Bear in mind, the only reason we're getting this from this benefit at this basic residential is because of the fact that we're on a road, we're near a commercial, yeah, we're near within the influence of two affluential residentials, two other basics, one cultural, despite the fact that it's tiny, and one military. Okay, which is the influence is going way out, all the way out there. So let us. No, we don't want the other person's buildings. Let us go back. Wrong one. Let us go back and have a look. Let's go all the way back to that tiny little basic residential. And try and orientate ourselves correctly this time. And where is It would have helped if the color for this had been different. It's actually managed to pick the same color for this person and this and ourselves. Oh well, never mind. Okay, so this is Lunar Shadows thing, and we have actually bought everything that we need for this. We still have 53 in the thing. Let's double check. Building settings for this agricultural. Yes, we can buy it. Okay, it's economic power 100. Let's see what happens if we go up to 110. Nope, not big enough. It needs to be a 66 by 66. But let's check the road. The road bonus, by moving down to that other road, that 150 economic power road, our road bonus has gone up to 7%. Whereas with our own tiny road, it was only 3%. Whereas now we're next to this road, it's 7%. Brilliant. Okay, so agricultural, got everything. Yep, we've got all our budgets there. Buy. Okay, all right. Now we need to think about what was going to happen on the tick. Okay, all right, because we're going to need food for everybody, so we need to check how much food is going to be needed, and then what we're going to do is each tick is 360, so you have about 3 or 4 ticks per day, per real day. So if you're going to go away for a day, then you need to be able to cover 3 or 4 ticks worth of food and the heating, etc., etc. So we're going to go over those. Okay, now this workforce needs heating at 550 and food at 800. Okay, this sawmill needs food at 400. So 500, we're looking at about 1200, and this is where you really want a piece of paper. All right, so let's do the food first of all. Okay, all right. Settings on that 800 on the workforce 800. The 400 food for the sawmill. Stone cutter 500, so that's 500, 900 and 800 is 1700. Do the little buildings need food? 1. Oh, bless. Okay, all right. So that's 1800. So let's call it 2000. Okay, all right, so that's 200 food units. Okay, now when we go to trade and click on the vegetables gives you food 12 points. So our 1800 calculator off screen, 1800 divided by 12, we only need to buy 150 vegetables, but that's per tick. Okay, so if we want to cover 4 ticks, we need 150 times 600 vegetables. Okay, so what's this person selling at? This person's selling at 0.15, and they have 326,000 available. This one's this 0.14, so let's put in 600 vegetables. That will cost us 0.84. So 0.04 got put in. We have 53. So, what the heck? Let's splurge. Let's buy 5,000. And that will cost us 7. Okay, so that 5,000 will cover us very comfortably for 5,000 food. 5,000 times 12 is 60,000 food points, which is more than enough that we need for that will be what at least 5 real days of game thing, not game time, real days game time. Now, if we were to buy grain, somebody is actually selling grain. Grain has only 2 food points, and can you see they're selling it at 10 times the cost? So if we were to buy that grain, that would be really expensive. And meat, no meat's available and no thing, but meat is food points 5. So our vegetables is our best bet at the moment, but bear in mind that vegetables spoil. So let's not buy 5,000. Let's only buy 3,000. Okay, despite the fact there's only 2 coins. All right, so 4.2. Buy. Brilliant. Okay. Now let's cover let's do the heating for things. We're currently in. If you look up here, we are currently in just at the beginning of autumn. We're going to be going into winter. All right. Anyway, so the workforce needs heating of 550 estimated. All right. The sawmill needs heating 275, 550, 300, 600, 850. The stone cutter needs 374. So 850 plus 374, 850, 9, 10, 11. 1100. Okay. The agriculture doesn't need any heating. Good. The little building needs heating, those things, so to call it 1200 for those. And really we should go and check our bigger, so we're up to 1200, but remember this is per tick. This is heating points per tick. Let's go and check our 270% residential. So we called it 1200. Building settings there, heating 1550. Wow. Okay, and the food needed on that one was 1200, so that's quite a lot. We didn't take that into account in our budget thingamies, did we? So let's do that one specially. All right. So we're heating at 1550 plus the other ones, all our other ones. This is one of the disadvantages of doing the higher economic power ones. 1200, 1550, 27, call it 3000 heating. Okay, so now 3000 heating is not the same as the actual, the pine, for example, is heating points. So we've had 3000 divided by 5. We need 600 pine per tick to keep everybody warm. But this is in autumn. Okay, all right. It varies in summer, between summer and winter, etc. And remember, it also varies depending on the geothermal heating of the ground. Okay, so 600 pine, and let's say we want 5 days worth of, we want to be able to walk away from the game for 5 days. So that's 600 pine times 5 will be 3000 pine. 3000 will cost us 3 things. Brilliant. That's perfectly 3 gold to buy those 3000 pine. That's perfectly acceptable. Let's buy that. On its way. Now notice that oak and teak, despite the fact that they are massively more expensive, still only have a heating per point of 5. So you buy all this oak, and it end up being burnt for housing because you ran out of pine. So it's quite important that you make sure that you've got plenty of pine available and don't end up anything. Now, labour. We have 16,000 labour available. Okay. All right, let's go back to our oops. Where are we? Which one are we? We are here. Right, this is our stone cutter. Dum-de-dum. And that is the labour required for those is 5,000. Oh yes, of course, we did all of that. And we were quite happy with that. total here, weren't we? Yep, there we're good. We're good on that one. So what was the other thing that we needed to do? We missed the fact that that other building, the 270% economic power one, takes an enormous amount of food. So let's just double check that. Buildings. Basically, there's the 270, so double click. And I wanted to rename it to Fred's house, didn't I? Fred's house. Building settings. The food on that is 1200. So 1200 food. Trade. Vegetables is food points 12. So that 1200 food divided by 12 is 100. Good, and we want to buy 5 days worth of it, so we need 500 food to cover that one house. And we're buying at 0.14, so that's a total of 0.17. Yeah, that's plenty of thing. We've got 3,000 vegetables. Just for the sheer heck of it, let's make it another 1.4. So it's basically, you want to be matching, because vegetables spoil quickly, you want to be matching what you've bought to what you need, but also taking into account the fact that during these seasons there will be availability of that food, but as the seasons change, it won't be available. So grain is the one that you can stockpile, but it has less nutrition. Vegetables has spoils quicker, but is much more nutritious. And during the winter, you can also go on a hunt, which will cost you 8,000 labour, and it's a random choice of everything. There's very few actual moose and bears left at the moment, so there's a possibility you end up spending 8,000 labour and not actually getting any food. But if you did, you would end up with 450 or so per moose in meat, which times 5, 450 times 5 is 2,250 food points, which is a lot. So I'm reasonably happy with this. We've got that tiny little cultural building improving the benefit to our residential, which we get an income of 12 per tick from that, and 12 gold will give us enough pine, and I think over 10 ticks you will be able to get things, taking into account the other costs. You would actually be able to ramp up from there, and be sort of a thing. We are positive on labour and all of those quantities of pine and sandstone, etc. Got a little bit of oak and a little bit of granite, which we can sell. We don't need those at the moment, so we can sell them on the market, and we will get that per tick. So we will get 47 granite per tick, which again, there's 3 or 4 per day. Now, one thing what I'm going to do, I'm going to check when the next update is in 168 blocks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this recording, and I'm going to go away and watch an episode of Mythbusters and come back into ticks so that you can actually see what happens when you cross over a tick. And if you the other thing that's useful that you might want to see is you can see your history of everything that you've done in there. We haven't got any discoveries yet. Don't have any badges yet. The badges are given out on a tick, And on our inventory, let's just make sure just when we're crossing over the tick, we've got 3,000 vegetables. We don't have enough sandstone because some of the buildings will need sandstone as well to think. Oh, that's a good thing. We check that. So that doesn't consume any sandstone. Buildings. Let's go and have a look at our agriculture. Not we don't think. No, we wanted our sawmill. We want to check our sawmill and our stone cutter because these numbers are important. Sandstone, we need a minimum of 112 to cross a tick. And our sawmill needs 29, so 29, 112, so I think it's 150. We're doing rounding up things, 150, and good. It doesn't need anything. The workforce doesn't need anything there. Yeah, good, brilliant. Just the road need anything? Building settings? No, roads don't need anything. So we need 150 sandstone per tick, and we wanted to do 5 ticks. We want to cover 5 ticks, so 150 times 5 is 750. So we need to buy 750 sandstone, which has cost us 4.5. Yeah, we're good. At the infinite supply. Yeah, excellent. So let's go and look at our things again. On our question mark again. On our inventory, we have 37 stone, plus it will be another 150. We have 3,000 pine, which will be enough for the heating. We have 16,000 labour, and we have 4,000 vegetables. So, and then on the tick, we will make 1,381 pine. We will make 825 sandstone. Excellent. So we only needed to buy this surplus stuff for our first tick. And I think that is a good time to go into pause this video, a simple screensaver thing, and come back once we've crossed the tick. See you in a bit. Okay, welcome back. We're carrying on as the update has occurred. So let's take a look. Latest update. And here we go. So, hey, we've been awarded Pioneer level. Right, so here's a flag 1599. Note that what it consumes happens first in the tick, and then you get the benefits afterwards. So if you don't have this at the start of when you come into the tick, then you can run out of resources and that building will be deactivated. So consumes 37 pine for heating, consumes 55 pine for tick, 34 vegetables, 29 sandstone, and 1519 labour. All right. Pays land tax, and then it produces 2,053 pine to the tick. Produces 45 oak, and your repair level changes, and that's that one building. All right. So then the next one consumes 67 vegetables, 74 pine, pays tax, blah blah, produces 17,000. That's the workforce. 1,741 labour, repair, etc., etc. And here we have the basic residential, which happens to have a 5+5 bonus for being near to an affluent residential. and +5 for being nearer cultural, and the same for the other tiny one as well, with their 0.2298 payout thing, but the tax level is absolutely tiny, so oh bless it. 1 vegetable for food and 5 pine for heating. Alright, now this one is the interesting one here. What we call it, Fred's house. It gets +10 bonus for 2 buildings of affluent residential, +10 for 2 by basic. Those are 2 other people's ones, +5 for commercial and +5 for military. Now, what's interesting is that it didn't get the +5 for cultural, which is down here, because that building hasn't been activated yet, and on the next tick it will get another +5 bonus. Fred's house will get another +5 bonus on there, so we'll get a bit more, but not unless the cultural building, which is right next door, the tiny little cultural one right next door, not unless that was active. Okay, all right, so that's why that one hasn't gone into there. And when it gets more complex, you actually need a chain of about 4 or 5 ticks before everything becomes active. And if you don't have enough food or whatever it is, or money during a 1 tick, everything gets deactivated, and it takes 5 ticks to get it back up and running. So you have to keep an eye on this. Consumed 100 vegetables and used 223 pine for heating, and we got 12.4 payout, and we paid a land tax of 0.12. Then you get the repair level, and you have to take that into account as well. So you can let things decay a little bit, but if there's a flood, if you're on unstable land, it really affects your thing. So anyway, yeah, that basically we had one thing. Let's go and have a look in the thing again on the player stuff, the buildings, the list of buildings. Yeah, so here there's the -1.4 money, and that's the wages for labor, but then there's the total 0.56 tax, so there's a -1.7 ish outgoings, but there's that 12 point something income, and consequently we're positive. Again, right, so there's 3 that we bought that were empty. There's that 1 basic residential, there's a road that we were going to do later, and there was also a residential building that we didn't activate, but we've got that land and we could do that later. So repair all, and that will give us a cost to repair 9 buildings, and our balance went up something like 10 or 12, 10 or 11. It's basically minus 1.7 and then plus 12.5. So that will give us, over a few ticks, will give us the thing. And if we have a look at our inventory, our vegetables has in fact gone down, but our pine and sandstone have gone up. Oh, we've got 50 granite and 45 oak. So we can put that on the market. Trade oak. Right. We have 45 oak, and we're going to put it on at 0.0019, because somebody else has got a sell order for 0.002, so we're going to put that in. And the granite, nobody's put any granite out for sale. We have 50 granite, 50, and we're going to put that at 0.0119, and we will get, if we sell that, we'll get 0.95 0.95 coin for that one. That's yeah, you can just about see that down there. All right, woohoo! Yeah, let's see if somebody buys that. He might just buy it because it's amusing. But if you've got people who are just starting out in the game and are just transitioning over to affluent residential, etc., things, they'll buy that. So yeah, that's good. Oh, and our labour went up as well because we had some from the workforce. So over time, that the labour will build up, and you'll be able to use that for agricultural without having to buy at the infinite supply. You still have to get your vegetables until you've got the money to sow, the labour to sow and harvest the fields, agriculture. Pine and sandstone you can use. It's just that's satisfied our repairs. So the pine and sandstone you can use to build, and some of that labour you can use to create other buildings. So that's it. Thank you very much.